What's going on, everybody? I'm John Opinion Sports, and today we're going to talk about 5 coverage middle linebackers I think the Giants could target. It's no secret that Wink Martindale is looking for faster middle linebackers, and they're going to have to be able to thrive in man coverage. The more I think about it, the more I think the Giants will move on from Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez is the complete opposite of what Wink is looking for. This year's free agency is paper thin at middle linebacker position, but I managed to find 5 coverage linebackers that are in the Giants' budget. I'll start with the player that I think is probably least likely. That's Foye Oluokun. I imagine I butchered that name. I'm just going to refer to him as Alu, if anything at all. Now, he graded poorly PFF-wise, but sites are still saying like he's going to get a deal in that $7-8 million range. I'm skeptical of that, but there is snaps on tape that just make you think he could be great. He is a lightning fast linebacker. He has some unexpected strength for his smaller size. In Atlanta, he played pretty much every linebacker spot across the board. He regularly punches out the ball, just finds ways to force fumbles. Listen, he's got all the tools. Now we need to see him put it all together. I don't see how he gets a long-term deal this season. If I were him, I'd be looking for a 1-year prove-it deal, because I do think he's a year or two away from just breaking out. His coverage isn't locked down, but it's much better than any linebacker we've had in quite a while. Now, any more than $5 million on a 1-year deal, and I'm out on him. I'm just throwing his name out because I'm sure the Giants will be keeping an eye on him. The next guy I think the Giants will target is Josey Jewell. He's a really good linebacker, and good news is he should come cheap because he tore his pectoral muscle last year, missed pretty much all the season. That will lower his value to where he's affordable. But from week 9 of 2020 through week 2 of this past season, Jewell's overall grade was 79.8. That's 4th among off-ball linebackers in the NFL. His coverage grade was 79.5 in that period. That's good for 5th in the NFL. So Jewell is a top 5 to 10 middle linebacker in coverage. That's what Wink's looking for. Wink and Joe Schoen should be all over this dude. Jewell also flashed in a pass rush situations in Denver. Now, he's not an athletic freak, but he just gets the job done, and the production is there. And I view him as a fit in this defense. And he may be my favorite on this list. I think you can get him because of his injuries that for $5-6 million contract. I'm sure he's looking for a 1-year deal, so if he goes off, he'll be getting paid in 2 years from now. The next middle linebacker the Giants could target is Kyzir White, another free agent from the Chargers, so there's barely any highlights, but we made it work. But Kyzir White has been a consistent linebacker for the Chargers. He's on this list because obviously he's good in coverage. Kyzir has had 4 straight seasons grading over 60 in his coverage grade. That may not sound good, but nowadays that's a damn good coverage grade. You know, the offenses nowadays are designed to attack linebackers with high-low pass concepts, RPOs, and the tight ends nowadays are just borderline impossible to deal with. Kyzir is one of the few linebackers you can use to cover tight ends. Now, he's not great in the run game, but I view him of more of just a third down guy. I think you could sign him in that $4 or $5 million range. Not a bad rental for 1 season. Maybe it takes a little pressure off, making Joe Schoen feel like he has to draft a middle linebacker this year, even though I still wouldn't mind that. Maybe it just opens up your board a little bit more. But we need depth at linebacker badly. Last season was a disaster when Blake went down. Now, on the next middle linebacker, I chose Jayon Brown. Brown has been a consistent linebacker the last few years. That's when he's not on the injury list, of course. You take away his injury history, and Jayon Brown might be getting a huge payday this offseason. Fortunately for us, that isn't the case. I love for the Giants to scoop Brown up on a 1-year rental. I think you can snag him in that $3 to $4 million range. That's really nothing on the cap after you give him a signing bonus. Now, Jayon Brown is a straight-up third down coverage linebacker. Like, you don't want him out on the field on early downs, pretty much ever. But in the passing game, you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you pay for. Brown is another guy whose coverage grade is over 60. You can slide him out in coverage and he'll do well out there. And now, finally, the guy that I think fits Wink's scheme as good as any other free agent this season, middle linebacker Anthony Walker. He played for Cleveland Browns last season. Anthony Walker is an intriguing coverage linebacker. He has no problem covering tight ends. He played really good in cover one, just everything. This is a guy you want to get out in space. He is all coverage, all day. He's a really good athlete. He has great agility. You can play this guy like he's a safety if you want. Like, I think you can get Walker in that $2 to $3 million range. So you can get this guy pretty much dirt cheap, and your defense is going to be way better off for it, especially on third down passing. But let me know what you guys think of middle linebackers I chose. I just think you need a certain type of middle linebacker to run Wink's defense. And you can draft a middle linebacker and you don't have to force them on the field right away. Let your rookies sit and learn. And just maybe sprinkle them and play them sparingly. And if you bring in one of these guys on a 1-year contract, you know what you're getting. It's not the mystery of a 3rd or 4th round rookie middle linebacker. But let me know what you guys think, my list. Or do you like a different middle linebacker in this free agent class? Or are you thinking you don't want no middle linebackers at all? So hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Like the video. That helps me. Keeps me motivated to keep going. If you're new, subscribe. I got a few more of these free agent videos coming out. And then maybe I'll do a couple really close, targeted deep dives on a few of these people in free agency. These players, not people. Well, they are people, but I've been up too long. That's it for me. Like, subscribe, and peace.